Genesis 6:14. Genesis 6:14. God tells somebody to build an ark. I want to go back to verse 11. Okay, 6:11. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and it was full of violence. Sounds familiar like today, right? God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. Verse 13. So God said to Noah, what did God do? God said to Noah, okay, not, Noah was thinking. Okay, no. God said to Noah, I am going to put on an end to all the people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. Verse 14, so make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in it, coat it with pitch inside and out. Now, what is pitch used for? What is pitch used for? Huh? It's tar. It seals all the seams, okay, so the water doesn't get in. That's incredible. So, inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 450 feet long by 70 feet wide, 45 feet in height. That's almost 5 stories. Make a roof for it. Forget about cruise liners, right? Noah had his own cruise liner in those days, okay? Okay, make a roof for it and finish the ark to within 18 inches of the top. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. I'm going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens. Every creature that has the breath of life in it, everything on earth will perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, and you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. You are to bring into the ark 2 of every living creatures, and so on and so on. Make a roof for it and finish the ark to within 18 inches of the top. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. I'm going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens. Every creature that has the breath of life in it, everything on earth will perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, and you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. You are to bring into the ark 2 of every living creatures, and so on and so on. God is speaking to who? To Noah. Again, God is speaking, okay? Noah is not making stuff up, okay? Noah is not talking to himself. God is talking and speaking directly to Noah. So why can't God speak to us today? You're talking about the Old Testament. You're talking about, a time when you had to go through the priest, okay? Or a prophet for you to hear from God. Okay, now we're talking about Noah. We're talking about Adam and Eve who heard the voice of God, okay, who God is speaking to them. And now you have Noah, who God is speaking to exactly. Look, you got to build the ship 475 feet long, how many feet wide? Whatever feet wide by what? Three stories, right? And three levels, and put a door here and put a window there. And God is specifically telling them what to do. So why can't God tell us specifically what we need to do in our lives today? Why do we have to second guess God and try to figure out what we need to do in our lives today? Why are we confused about where we're going? Why are you confused about the things you need to do, what you need to study? It's a whole thing. It's about, okay, what kind of job should I get? Right? Simple thing, right? What kind of job do I want to get? Okay, what do I want to be? What am I going to go to school for? Okay? What kind of wife or husband do I want? And this is where we mess up. Like when we were in New York and we were, I know my wife was going to her mom's church. That was like 2 years, right? You went to your mom's church. You left our church like 2 years before we actually left. And then I decided, because see, sometimes we get caught in like salaries, and we get caught up in, I was making very good money. I was very comfortable. I have medical. I was making about $100,000 a year. Okay, you want to make $100,000 a year? Comfortable, I mean, we worked hard. Don't get me wrong. We worked hard. But, and it wasn't easy. Ministry is not easy. For you to think that, you sit behind an office and that's all you do, that is not what we did. Okay, but I was very comfortable, but I shouldn't have stayed there. I stayed there only because of the vision of somebody else. which was my mentor. And what happened? I stayed there, but God wanted me to leave. But I didn't want to leave. Because why? Because Dr. Solomon, $100,000 a year is good money, Dr. Solomon. Plus, I had medical insurance that I didn't pay for. You know? All our kids were paid from that medical insurance. Every $25,000 birth, boom, paid by the insurance, you know? The ectopic pregnancy, everything paid by the insurance. It was great. We got bonuses at the end of the year. You know, beautiful. We got vacation. I had a month vacation, okay? I was there 17 years. I had a month vacation, plus, you know, sick days, whatever. It was great. And then the Lord is like, it's time to move on. Now, there were two. It was Barbara's cousin, and it was also Frank, who's like a cousin. He was a worship leader. I think Frank was the first one to leave, or Marcus, I don't know which one. They left, but I didn't want to leave just to leave. They left, and one moved here to Miami. The other one went to Brooklyn Tabernacle, and I was still there by myself, and I was the last one to leave because I wanted. Now, see, you have to know when God speaks, because somebody's like, hey, come to our university, come upstate New York, and let's do this. Let's get your family up here, okay? And you'll take some classes at our school, and you'll go work at Wendy's. We'll get you a job at Wendy's.
Family hates it.
Wendy's, Dr. Solomon, I'm going to go make $8 an hour? Well, in those days, probably 7 or 6. Who knows what it was? I'm going to go make what? And then I was like, okay, Lord, but if this is you, you know, right, Barb? If this is you, we'll come to NISA. What was it? No. Elam Bible College, upstate New York. We drove like 4 or 5 hours. I don't even remember how many hours we drove. Okay? Up in the mountains. Brother Paul Johansson, wonderful man of God, great teacher. Brother Paul, we will pray about this. Okay? But in the back of my mind is like, I got 4 kids. Lord, do you really want me to go to school after 17 years that I've learned so much and go work at Wendy's or McDonald's and try to feed 4 kids and my wife and you know, and I wasn't at peace about that because God didn't want me to be poor. God didn't want me to just make it. So, kept praying and kept listening to God. Then I got another phone call. We pay you $100,000 a year and you just be a project manager for our demolition company. That's a great project right there, man. What a temptation, right? Wouldn't you take that at a heartbeat, Emma? Of course you would. Don't tell me no lies. Don't tell me you wouldn't. Kevin, wouldn't you take that job at a heartbeat? You offer me $100,000 a year to go just be a supervisor. You could just go to job sites and go, okay, guys, hey, no, okay? Yeah, you do friendly.
Yeah, do friendly.
You would take that job, right? Yeah, right. Don't tell me no. $100,000 a year? You take that job in a heartbeat, quit school and go work for $100,000 a year. What? Six figures, right? You'd be like, yo, I make 6 figures. But you know what? The Lord said no. The Lord said no. But what would you say? That ain't the Lord. That's my flesh. That's somebody else speaking. That's the devil. Devil, you're a liar. You know? You're a liar. You're trying to confuse me. No. God has a better plan for me.
Amen.
God had a better plan for my family. But the $100,000 looked really good because, you know, it's just going to supplement what I used to make. God didn't want that. And then we started fleecing here, and we started calling there, and we started calling here, and I'm trying to fleece God, you know, throw a fleece out and try to, Lord, where do you want us to go? And then Miami was a place where we had to raise our own money to get here. Nobody paid our trip here. We had to raise our own money to come and live here. And we knew it was God. And we said, Lord, if that's you, then guess what? You'll make a way where there is no way. You will supply all of our needs. Okay?
Amen.
And the people who actually supported us were not Christians from the church. The people who supported us were people from different businesses. that I had a relationship with. And they weren't even Christians. They're the ones that supported us to come to Miami, Florida. So God made a way and we came, not knowing what tomorrow would bring. But God had us all set up. Everything was set up. Everything was already, God knew what was going to happen if we obeyed him. And then we have to be sensitive to the voice of God. So just because that job looks good doesn't mean that's for you. Just because that school looks great doesn't mean it's for you. It means you need to listen to the voice of God and say, Lord, what do you want me to do? Okay, where do you want me to go? You got to step back and look and see. So, you got to step back. If you got to go work at Wendy's, I'm going to go work at Wendy's. God always keeps his promises. And sometimes we don't see the whole picture. But let me tell you, if we just walked where he wants us to walk and do what he wants us to do, guess what? Everything's going to fall into place. Doesn't mean it's a bed of roses. Doesn't mean it's going to be a wonderful journey. It is a wonderful journey, but it's going to come with its mountains and it's going to come with its valleys. But God is always speaking to us. And we have to listen to what the Lord is saying. We have to listen. Because you don't want to go in the path. Listen, you got dreams, you got visions, you got all these things that you want to do. But listen, it's what you want to do. But what does God want you to do? Not what you want to do. What does God want you to do? There's a big difference, okay? Oh, I want to marry this person. We may make sure that's the right person. Oh, I like this girl. I like this boy. That's nice. Is that what God has for you? Why are you settling for second best when God can give you the best? Okay, he can give you the best job. He can give you the best career. He can give you the, whatever desires are in your heart, God will give it. He says he gives you the desires of your heart. So why do you settle for second best? Why don't you settle for the best? God wants you to have the best. And God is always speaking. If we just open up his word, if you turn onto the radio that edifies you instead of listening to junk, God will speak to you as you listen to worship, as you listen to all these songs that play on the radio. God will speak to you, and sometimes you got to turn that radio off, and God is speaking to you, just through a song that you listened. God is always speaking. You need healing, God is always speaking. He says his healing mercies are new what? Every morning, right? He's always speaking. But why are we not listening? Listen to that small, still voice, because God is still speaking today.